All right, Shalom Israel. This is the ISUPK, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command Junior Yohana. This is Thursday night scripture breakdown class, right? And if anybody's tuning in online, if you got any questions, put them in the chat. We'll answer whatever questions that you have. That's the point of this class. And it's also to break down the scriptures, right? To teach brothers and sisters things that they don't know, things that they thought they knew about the scriptures, but they really don't, right? The title of the class tonight is Humility as a Leader. What does it mean to be a leader? Kanaka. What do you think it means to be a leader? Firstly, what do you think? What does it mean to be humble?
Being humble is being in a state to where you can't be high-minded. You have to be level-grounded and understanding that whatever you got going on now, whether good or bad, you're not better or lower than the next person.
That's a good answer. Let's get the definition of it, of the word humble, because a lot of people, especially pastors these days, they claim to be leaders, but they don't have a sense of humility. You know, their whole focus is what I can get out of you. What can I do better in life that you can't do? How can I stun on you? How can I kill the rest of the pastors? Kill all the other men in my congregation so I can get their wives? You know, that lack of humility is what leads to terrible leadership. You're supposed to be able to go to the pastor and say, I need help with this problem, that problem, third problem. The pastor got an answer for you. Me and my wife going through it. All right, well, y'all come here. We're going to have counsel together, all three of us. I'm going to hear her side. I'm going to hear your side. And then I'm going to play a neutral party, and we're going to fix it. That's how counsel works in the ISUPK. But that's not how it works in the Christian church. The pastor ain't going to give you counsel that's going to be sound. It's going to be for his own benefit, right? And we're going to get into precepts about that. Let me know when you got that definition. Go ahead.
Definition of humility: a modest or low view of one's own importance.
You see, a modest or a low view of one's own importance. That means you ain't looking at yourself as some better than everybody else type of person. That's what your pastors do. That's what your political leaders do. The people that you vote in the office, your oppressor, everybody. They got what's called hubris. Hubris is an outlandish amount of pride that'll lead to the destruction of everything else around you, and you don't even care because your pride is so big. That's what hubris is. The white man, our oppressor, has that type of hubris. You got that type of pride, right? Like I said, the pastors, they got the exact same level of pride, right? So let's go to the first precept. We're gonna be in the book of Jeremiah a lot. Let me get Jeremiah 3 and 15 first, right? Because the pastors are supposed to be the leaders of the black community. And even if they're not black pastors, you know, they're supposed to be leaders of people. Black people, they don't all just flock into the black church. Some of them do go to them white mega churches with the white people and stuff like that. They like my grandparents, my great grandparents, they like Kenneth Copeland. You know, that man looked like flat out Satan. If you imagine Satan as a human, that's what you'd imagine look like, Kenneth Copeland. And they followed that man for life, you know. And those leaders, all they do is use their congregation, right? The Lord said He's gonna send us people to lead us, but the pastors that we have ain't never been the type that the Lord meant for us to have. Go ahead and read it.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 3 and verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
And I will give you pastors according to mine heart.
I will give you what?
Pastors.
He said, I'm gonna give you pastors, right? Keep going.
According to mine heart.
Right.
Which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
What Christian church is going to feed you with knowledge and understanding? Where are they giving our people the chance to ask questions about the things that they going over the Sunday sermon? You know, where are they giving our people the chance to ask questions or even ask if they got the correct understanding about the thing that they're being told? Because you got some people who go to church, they get an understanding about some things, and then they'll take it and run with it based on what they think they heard the pastor say instead of being able to ask the question. But that's the problem. They ain't never got the chance to ask the question. If what do I understand what you're saying correctly? Does this mean that? They don't get the chance to ask that question, right? Drop that. Let me get Jeremiah 2 and 8, right? So we had a situation recently. What's the pastor's name? Do you remember? That's okay. His name don't matter. He ain't important. Yeah, but it was a recent situation, like within the past 2 days. A pastor locked his whole congregation in the church. He owns a mega church, right? Or he runs a mega church, whatever. And he locked them in the church and said, I need 40 bands. Salakia. He held them hostage for 40 bands, you know? And I guess, I don't know if what I read about it was true. Go ahead, Salakia.
The pastor's name was Marvin Sapp.
Marvin Sapp, God. Now I don't know if what I read about it was true, but what I read, they said that he got arrested for that because that's kidnapping. You can't do that. Hold somebody hostage, hold somebody for ransom. That's kidnapping. You can't do that. But they said that he got arrested. I don't know if it's true or not. But the bottom line is that he was willing to like I know these pastors normally they go a little above and beyond on they play because all of it is just a play. But he went way above and beyond. He said, "I'm gonna lock y'all in here." He said, "Ushers, close the doors," and they closed the door. They locked the doors, and he's telling these people, "Y'all gonna give me 40,000." Oh, we ain't. He said his verbatim, his words was, "We gonna leave here together." After y'all give me this 40,000, we're gonna leave here together. He said the people online gonna send me money. It's 1,000 y'all in here. It's 1,000 of y'all online. So that means each one of y'all send me $20. We can leave out here together. Go ahead.
So like he said, ushers lock the door.
Don't
let nobody out. This ain't the time to talk.
That's hostage. That's y'all are hostages now. Y'all just became victims in the Christian church, sexually and financially. He held y'all for ransom. Right? You got that verse? Jeremiah 2:8. Go ahead.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 8. The priest said not, where is the Lord? And they that handle the law knew me not.
Mm-hmm.
The pastors also transgressed against me.
The pastors did what?
Transgressed against me.
The pastors broke the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, right? They're telling you that you can eat the pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, being terrible leaders. They're telling you to commit sin against the Most High. That's the ultimate trespass against the Most High. Not just the sin that they committing, but the fact that they teaching their congregation, the sheep in their flock, to break the same laws that they breaking. Go ahead, keep reading.
And the prophets prophesied by Baal, and walk after things that do not profit. Right, that's your pastors walking after the things that don't profit. Kenneth Copeland is the example I gave earlier about my grandfather and my great grandfather, my great grandmother, loving him as they pastor. You know what I'm saying? That man said, y'all finna buy me a plane. And he wasn't playing. He made them give all kind of outlandish amounts of money. And he used that to buy him a plane. I need this plane. So he used our people's faith, black people's faith in him, and they're in God to manipulate them into buying him a brand new plane, a brand new private jet. And you know what happened the very next year? The new model came out. And he needed that one too. He did it twice. Oh, Slucker, we good? Okay. Yeah, he did the same thing twice because he wanted the new model. Shalom, sis. Y'all smart thought about Shemel Shah. But yeah, he wanted the new model. You know what I'm saying? And our people, our people is naturally a spiritual people. You know, that's one thing about us. It's a desire to serve the Lord. The scriptures say that we have a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We want to serve the Most High, even if we don't know how to do it the right way. And so in that being the case, our people look for spirituality. We look for Kemet. We look for Islam. We look for other people's gods, other cultures, other non-specific idol things, but that still be idols. Everything to try to find a way to serve whatever fabricated version of God that we done created in our own minds. And so we easily susceptible to the wiles of the devil. We easily susceptible to being manipulated, so they can get money out of us, get us to follow after them, and we believe that this gonna get us the kingdom. This gonna get us saved. They call it deathbed salvation. I can be a gangbanger my whole life, brother. Salaki. I can gangbang my whole life. As long as when I get on my deathbed and I confess that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, it don't matter. What that means that my pastor done failed me, man. My leader, my spiritual leader, whoever it is, done failed me. They led me to a life of ruin. So when I get back born in this earth again, I gotta suffer the punishment for everything I did. And I don't even know that I did it. That's the real problem right there. That's the real sin is leading others to do so. Give me that in Matthew 17 and 5 and 17, 5 and 19. Matthew 5 and 19. Slack. The book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments. He said, whosoever shall break one of these least commandments, right? Keep going. And shall teach men so. And shall do what? Teach men so. And teaching men so. So not only are you breaking these least commandments, you teaching men to break these commandments. What are you doing? Or what are you? Go ahead, keep reading. He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. The greatest in the kingdom of heaven. The least in the kingdom of heaven. The Lord will be well pleased with you. the least in the kingdom of heaven.
The Lord said you're gonna be called the least in the kingdom of heaven, and that's what these pastors are doing. They teaching our brothers and sisters prosperity. Prosperity doctrine. What? He teaching our brothers and sisters prosperity doctrine. That prosperity doctrine ain't nothing but for him, and they selling you a dream. So the whole time you busting your behind working on the Sabbath, even though you really don't got to. We are all poor, but some brothers ain't as poor as others. The brothers that ain't as poor as others, they're working their behinds off to reach this. If I donate enough, if I tithe enough, the pastor gonna put me into some money situation where God gonna bless me. When the scriptures don't say that. The scriptures say give alms for sure. They say give charity, but it don't say that the Lord gonna just bless you in abundance of things that you don't need because your pastor told you that you're gonna get it. Your pastor wasn't sent here to tell you that you're gonna get them things. He was sent here to guide you. That's why he was put in that position of what? Leadership, to guide the flock. So the people know that where I'm going is what I'm doing, Slakia, is pleasing to the Most High or it's not pleasing to the Most High. So that means we know we got to stop committing sin, or if we are committing sin, we learning that we're committing sin and learning why what we're doing is so wrong. And that's really the best type of learning. That's the real leadership. It's one thing to tell me just stop doing stuff. That ain't gonna make me stop. But what happened when you explain to me what I'm doing is wrong, why what I'm doing is wrong? Then you offer me a solution and an answer to help me fight the thing that I'm doing. Now I become a whole new creature. Now I become a weapon for the Most High to use. That's the difference. Drop that. Let me get 1 Thessalonians 5:12. All right, because I don't want to stay too much on the pastors, but that's really what the whole point is, man. We got horrible leaders in the black community. And it ain't just our leaders though. A lot of leaders in the world, in the earth, not just in Israel, but the world in general, they all got horrible amounts of pride. Netanyahu is the greatest example of that. Trump is the greatest example of that. I posted a video on my TikTok, right? It was about a white woman. She was talking about how her and her husband are farmers. They live in Nebraska. They're agricultural people. And they outsource all their work to illegal immigrants. All the farming and all the actual work, the labor on their farm is done by illegal immigrants. But once Trump started deporting people, they start talking about, they said that all the illegal immigrants fled because they didn't want to be deported. So they just stopped showing up to work. Now their farm going bankrupt. And she was like 90 some odd percent of us in Nebraska voted for Trump. And when we look back now thinking about it, we really voted for our own demise. But they were so proud because Trump gonna build the wall. You know what I'm saying? Trump gonna get them illegal spics up out of here. Those gangbangers, those drug dealers, and those rapists out of here. We gotta get them out of here. And now look at you. She even said it. Now we poor. Go ahead.
It's like we was proud of Barack Obama getting
man. I wrote a whole, let me tell you a story, all right? And this confession is good for the soul, all right? I was in the world in 2008 when Barack Obama, I was a child, I was in high school. I was in like 10th grade. I was in 10th grade, I think. Yeah, I was in 10th grade. Anyway, I was in high school, right? When Barack Obama got elected in the office, right? And they made us write a paper about what we think. And so I used to take film. In Detroit, you got a film class. I used to take film where we watch movies, we analyze them, but we also, like all of our film classes was like roots and black history and stuff like that. It was never just no regular movie. So anyway, so this specific day, instead of watching a movie and film, we watched the inauguration, a recording of it, and then we wrote about what our feelings and thoughts about having a first black president was going to be. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was wooed. You feel me? In my mind, it was, my paper was my great grandparents just died recently, and they would have loved to see we finally got a black man in office. He's gonna make amazing things happen for the black community. And turn around, what happened? We were so proud of Barack Obama. What did he do for black people though? He made it so that the alternative lifestyle of us, those of us that partake in that, can do that. What else did he do? Nothing. China was still building bombs with nuclear warheads in them. Iran still had they had all the plutonium on the earth. He didn't do nothing to help even defend this country, let alone fix black people's problems. He didn't do nothing for nobody. Matter of fact, he went overseas. They threw a shoe at him. You feel me? And he didn't do nothing. You feel me? So come on, man. Hell with Obama. Hell with all these political leaders that we put our faith in. You got that precept? Oh, go ahead. Salak, you want to say something?
Salak, this might be kind of a sidebar.
Come on.
But it's people out here like they be mad when black people speak up against homosexuality
Mm-hmm.
because they said being gay is like being black because we both get discriminated against.
That is not nothing. No. So people don't like ugly dogs. Are we gonna say black people and being ugly and ugly dogs is the same thing? Go ahead.
And Salakia, they also put together like, you know, we went to the town hall meetings. We do these different meetings
And stuff. God. Salakia. Language. Salakia.
Salakia.
Go ahead.
But they always, no matter what we do, if we talking about black people, we fight for Hispanic people, they always got to throw in LGBTQ, no matter what we do.
Yeah, you know why? Because Martin Luther King is the face of the Million Man March. He's the face of black people, the black civil rights movement, right? And who was right there on the side? What's that man's name? I just had it in my head too. Damn. Look him up. I forgot his name. But it was a whole homosexual. That's why black people are like that. Because attached to the black plight has been the desire to be. I gotta be politically correct. I hate the internet. Salakia, if I could. I hate the internet. The desire to be alternative lifestyle is attached to the black plight because the alternative lifestyle was attached to the face of black men, the face of the black plight, the black movement to freedom, the movement for equality. You feel me?
His name was Salakia.
Go ahead.
Bayard Rustin.
Bayard Rustin, thank you. The water. I forgot his name just like that. Bayard Rustin was a flat out homosexual. It wasn't even a question in your mind. You knew he was homosexual, but he was Martin Luther King's right hand man. Martin Luther King is Black America's favorite black person in history. He was just, you can't say nothing to black people about Martin Luther King. You can't tell them the ugly truth about Martin Luther King. You got some brothers out here, and I've heard them say it. They'll say, well, everybody, you know, got their vices. Everybody got their problem, their faults. Ain't nobody perfect, brother. But the brother still was his vision was still right. He wanted us to be good. He wanted us to be straight, black people to be straight. But did he really want black people to be straight? I don't think he did. He ever hanging around with a homosexual. I really don't think he wanted black people to be straight. He just wanted himself to be able to do whatever he want to do with white women. That's what it was all about. And that's the type of leaders that we got. You know, those type of leaders that white supremacy gives us. And that's the real travesty. They give us this notion of democracy where you can vote. You can go ahead and cast your vote all you want to, but we're going to put the nigga in there that we want, the one that we can control, so that he can control you the way we want him to control you. But he going to do what we tell him to do. Best believe that. He might speak up here and there now and then just to keep face, to keep y'all happy, to appease y'all. But no, he's doing his job. You know how he doing his job? Because in all of the uproar and all of the speaking out, the stuff that's going on with James Patterson, what's his name? Pearson? Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
I'll tell you about it. I forget. But anyway, all the stuff that's going on in Congress, he got into it with another congressman. You know, and all that, we supported him being put back on the bench after him and the brother in Memphis got put down. And here he is in another situation in Congress. What is he doing for the black community, though? What has he done to affect your life on a personal level? Nothing. Everything that we still endured, we were enduring while he was going through that situation before, is the same things we enduring now. So what's different? What's happening? What's changing? Nothing. But we got a black man up there representing us now. It don't matter about his policies. We got a black man up there representing us now. That's the leadership that they give you. He's a face. That's it. He's literally a face used to control the black populace. That's it. He ain't there to make no changes. He ain't there to fix nothing. And black people, you got to stop putting your faith in these politicians. Because these politicians, no matter who you vote for, it can be a brother. It could be an Israelite. That brother is not for you, though. He's not your brother. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. And some of them brothers ain't kinfolk at all. They doing what they got to do to get the money, to get paid. That's it. You still got that precept?
5 and
12. Go ahead.
The book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5 and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
And we beseech you, brethren,
mm-hmm.
know them which labor among you.
To do what?
Know them which labor among you.
All skin folk ain't your kinfolk. They want we beseech you right now. I'm beseeching you, brethren, to do what?
Know them which labor among you.
To know them which labor among you. You know that these political people, these people in Congress that represent black people, ain't really laboring among us. They laboring for their own pockets, but they're not laboring among us. And they don't got to physically be around us 24/7 all day, every day. but they ain't doing nothing out in the community. I don't never see none of these politicians in the streets of Nashville. When we do boots on the ground, where in the playing quickly and go down. Okay, come Slacky, y'all. We had technical difficulty. But yeah, so you know, we went to a little meeting, and the little judge lady, I ain't gonna say no names and nothing like that, but the little judge lady, you know, she was up there talking about black people, and like you said, they tie alternative lifestyles to the black plight. Her, what looked like a daughter was actually her son, or it could have been her daughter, and he looked like her son. It was sitting there with a dress on, with dreads and a mustache, and a deep voice. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know, but we do know that she made sure that she got that child up there to be able to say what they had to say, put them on the podium. But when the UPK want to come up here and talk about real things that blade the black people, be real leaders to the black community, we can't do that because they know what we're gonna talk about. Last time we went, the time before that, we went over there. We spoke to our little groups. In my group, I made sure I brought up how alternative lifestyle is plaguing the black community, because we weren't always like that. It was a point in time where we weren't like that. And then one of them in my group, they made an argument. One of the people in the world, they made an argument that, you know, no, we wasn't always like that, but it was always, even though there was people that was born like that, but they was hiding it. And I said, that's the problem. Why were they hiding it? Because they was ashamed of that crap, because they knew they wasn't supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to find that evil in our people and then kill it. We got to kill Satan wherever he might be at, wherever he's trying to infiltrate the congregation. We got to get him up out of there. But they wasn't trying to hear me say that. So they made sure that they didn't let me say nothing else after that first question. You know? And that's how we have to do, even if they don't like it. Go ahead.
And I can't believe that they was using words. They literally said they finna put boots on the ground.
I know, man.
They said we got marching orders. We know what to do now. I'm sitting there thinking like, what the hell is we supposed to do? You know what I mean? I'm like, if you in the crowd, you wondering like, if you really looking outside about the preaching and all of that, you know, how they try to get you, with how they say stuff, instead of what they saying. You like, what the hell are we supposed to do next?
And they never gave you no real solution. They never gave you no real answer. And you know what's bad about the whole thing though? The last person that spoke twice was that pastor. No, the first time was the pastor. The second time was that psychologist. And both of them was talking about the same thing. We need to stop caring about who people sleep with. They had a lesbian up there. She was a whole dyke. Talking about everybody worry about who I go to bed with. She's a pastor. Oh, my bad. They call her reverend. They're talking about who I go to bed. You know what I'm talking about? The little light skinned shorty.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she was a lesbian.
She was Hispanic.
Yeah. And she talking about people worry about who I go to bed with. You a reverend. Of course we worried about who you go to bed with. You supposed to be our spiritual leader. But you leading us to a life of homosexuality to accept that crap. Give me Colossians 6:9. Or is it 1 Corinthians 6:9? Yeah, 1 Corinthians 6:9 right quick. Because the Lord said we ain't supposed to do that. Paul wrote specifically against all of that. But you a reverend. And I'm sure in that church, you reference Paul more often than anybody else. The vast majority of the New Testament is his letters. Go ahead.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God?
It said the unrighteous will not inherit the kingdom of God. I mean, all your lasciviousness, all of it. Go ahead, read it.
Be not deceived.
Don't be deceived.
Neither fornicators.
Mm-hmm.
Neither idolaters.
Mm-hmm.
Nor adulterers.
None of them three.
Nor effeminate.
Mm-hmm.
Nor abusers of themselves with mankind.
Stop right there. Abusers of themselves with mankind. All of them can be applied to abusers of themselves with mankind. because mankind is supposed to be able to deal with you in a certain type of way. If you're born a man, you're supposed to be a man. You're supposed to be tough. You're supposed to be not necessarily tough, but you're supposed to be strong. You're supposed to be somebody that if when things hit the fan and it's just you and a bunch of children and women, they can rely on you to lay your life down so that they can survive. Do what you can to make sure that they can survive. But that woman leading, following her in her church, whatever she's a reverend of, it's gonna lead you to being a flat out homosexual, and you ain't gonna care nothing about them women and them children. You're gonna be questioning, well, how come I gotta die first? What you mean, dog? Because you got a rod. What you dog? What you mean? That's the burden of being a man. You got to be responsible for the weaker people that surround you, be it other men, women, children. Because other than men is weaker than you, them children weaker than you. They might not be strong like you are, but you got to hold responsibility to them to be strong. Where you get that strength from? It's supposed to be from the space that you get your spirituality from. Why? Because the Most High don't give us the spirit of fear. What is that? Psalms 144:1. Teach my hands to fight. Give me that. The Lord ain't give us the spirit of fear to make us weak. Your spiritual leader is supposed to be telling you what David prayed for. The same thing we all supposed to pray for. So when things really hit the fan, when it's time to go to war, I can be a soldier for the Most High to protect his people, to protect his sheep. That's what it means to be a leader. You got to be willing to lay it down for your people, man. That's what Moses was. That's what Ezra was, Nehemiah was. Go ahead.
The book of Psalms, chapter 144 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed be the Lord my strength, which teaches my hands to war.
The Most High teaches my hands to war. And that's what you're supposed to be getting from your spiritual leader. But now you're following this alternative lifestyle, sister. And I ain't gonna hold you. I was all on board listening to her talk because she's Hispanic, going through the things that they going through. And she just filed. She's up there representing her people, the only one in the building. And she's a dang on homosexual. Killed it. Unalived it, like. I was all for it. She ain't teaching brothers how to war. She ain't teaching brothers. I'm pretty confident she don't want brothers in there. She want these. It's lucky. She want these women to have the hands to war. You feel me? It's lucky. You finish with that? Go back to 1 Thessalonians 5:12. You feel me? The woman king. That's what they want. That's what she's pushing for us. The women to be women kings out here, to be strong, be ready to fight, even if it's that man in your house. Fight that man so you can come over here and lay with this woman. Go and get you a bad bitch. So like that's really what it is, though. You know, your Christian pastors are supposed to be your spiritual leader. They're supposed to be leading you to wisdom, strength, spiritual strength, guidance, counsel, everything that you need to battle them demons to make you better. But they don't do that, though. You know, it's all about. I make jokes about it, but it's really like that. Anything that's pleasing to the flesh, that's what they want you to pursue. Next to filling their pockets. You got that?
The book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
And we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you, and are over you in the Lord, and admonish you.
That other pastor that was up there talking about we need to stop all this hate. So what if somebody's alternative lifestyle, LGBTQ? Why does it matter? It matters, man. Because your child, you might not have children that's in school right now, but a lot of us do have children that's in school right now, and that's being forced on them now. They're being forced to deal with the fact that people are out here homosexual. That's not even supposed to be a thought in a child's mind. The only thing their child's mind is supposed to be ABC 1, 2, 3 and the mathematics. Now, no, biology is the number one. Not even biology no more. They don't care about biology. Sex ed is all that matters now in school. As long as you got sex ed, don't nothing else, everything else out the window. And that's how you end up in situations. It was at camp one time. I brought it out. There was a situation at a school in Wisconsin where the teacher had brought in drag queens and he was twerking on the 8th grade little boys. That's insane. I would have been at this. Who? I was gonna make a joke, bro. There's a movie called Office Space that came out in like 99 or something. There's a dude on there named Melvin, right? He's a real squirrely white dude. And he's like kind of like crazy. And they took his stapler. And he told him, he said, I need my stapler back. They didn't give him his stapler back. And then by the end of the movie, he was like, okay, I'm going to just burn the building down. They put him in the office. I'm not off. They put him in the basement. They moved his desk down to the basement. He says, all right, that's the last straw. The next day, he burnt the whole facility down. That's how I would have been. You got a motherfucker, slacker. You got a alternative lifestyle person twerking on my baby, on my child. in school. He's supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be able to trust my child here with you, but you got him getting lap dances from a alternative lifestyle person. You gotta, black people, we gotta be strong. We gotta be angry for this. It's insane that black people even accept this. Where did the notion that this is okay come from? Martin Luther King. It all ties. We come in circles, man, because it's really like that. This is the cause. Martin Luther King, him dealing with Barry Rustin and his own sexual desires. Now, boom, this is the face of the black movement, the black power movement. And then all black people who want to be woke, they lean towards Martin Luther King and they see what he was dealing with, what he had going on, and then the things that went along with his effeminate ways. They start becoming more and more effeminate in the 80s and the 90s. By 2000, everybody was homosexual. By 2010, oh, now it's okay to be gay. We trying to get married now, nigga. Salaka. We trying to adopt babies now and make them gay. Good.
If I could, even the ones who I meet in the world who are technically against homosexuality.
What do you mean technically against it? What do you mean?
I can explain right here. They say that they against it, but they won't say anything because of that community gonna come for them. Like you can't say. It's like they getting deboed out of saying something against it.
And do we accept it? Do you accept it?
Nah.
We can't accept them being debowed.
Man, that's how the conversation is like.
Good.
That's how the conversation comes up because I go ham on it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yeah, you can't say nothing about them people. I'm like, shit, I can say something. I'm like, I can say something about it. And they be like, they be scared to say something about it. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like, if I could, they disrespect Moses in all kind of ways, bro. They disrespect his laws, disrespect what he died for. Not what he died for, but what he was living to do.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to stone Moses.
Exactly.
For telling them what to do.
Mm-hmm.
For telling them the right thing. You know what I mean? And that's just like, you just have to accept it.
I was going to bring up Moses and what you was just talking about too. That's the spirit. Mm-hmm. Moses didn't have fear when it came time to really defend his brother. He could have been thinking about it. His people might have thought maybe he going to ride for us. We don't know. But when it came time for action, he didn't hold back. He wasn't worried about getting canceled. He looked left. He looked right. Made sure the coast was clear. And he off that Egyptian to save his brother. And that's how we got to be about. See, that's the biggest thing about it, man. People don't realize that this is really a matter of life and death. Ultimately, it's a matter of spiritual life and death, but it's really a matter of life and death, man. That's how serious we got to be about alternative lifestyles. We can't allow that to perforate the black community. We can't. We got to be willing to be canceled, willing to lose our jobs, willing to be put in jail, whatever the case may be, to save black people. The scriptures say in Numbers that when we stop committing sin and stop teaching our children to commit sin, then the Most High will give us the kingdom. So it's not just when we stop, but we have to start protecting our babies, protecting them from the influence of the oppressor, influence of the enemy. You know what I'm saying? Drop that precept. Go to 1 Peter 5:2. Salaki. We got to get back on this pastor, Salaki. But yeah, man. Go ahead, read it when you got it.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 5, and verse 2.
Again, we're talking about the right type of leader. Go ahead.
Feed the flock of God.
Feed the flock of God. Give them manna from heaven. Give them the spiritual understanding of who the Most High God is. What to do in their life. Go ahead, keep reading.
Which is among you.
Mm-hmm.
Taking the oversight thereof.
Mm-hmm.
Not by constraint. But willingly.
Don't be forced to have to teach these men and women that come to you to serve the Most High. Don't feel forced to do this. Do this willingly. The Lord called you. Be proud of being a leader of men. You feel me? Keep reading.
Come. Not for filthy lucre.
Not for filthy lucre. What is filthy lucre? Go ahead.
Like dirty money.
That dirty money. What's dirty? What's dirty about the money? It's just paper. What's dirty about it? It's about how you get it, right? If I'm locking my congregation in church, I'm telling y'all niggas finna give me this 40 bands. Or y'all ain't going nowhere. That's pretty dirty, bro. That's the type of people, that's the type of leaders that you have. And that's what you follow. Why? It's not your fault. Your pastor is your leader because your grandfather told you to follow the church, go to church. Grandma getting you up. You going to church, it don't matter. Mama getting you up and y'all going to church, it don't matter. into a certain generation where they just stopped going to church. But up to that point, which was recently, all of them. Sunday we get up, we going to church, and you're gonna go to church and you're gonna give your tithe, your donation. You gonna eat the damn cracker and drink the little grape juice. All right, and then we're gonna go to what's that? Golden Corral. We're gonna get all the fish, the catfish. You feel me? They got the shrimp platter, the cocktails. But to commit all kind of sin, you know what I'm saying? Because you ain't learning nothing. But that pastor gonna make sure that you give him that filthy lucre. Go ahead.
So, like, if I could, this is something he didn't want to do.
You know it was. Look, I'm gonna tell you what happened. All right, so the night before, he had a thought in his brain, or even the week before, he had a thought in his brain. I done seen how Kenneth Copeland was able to tell them, I need this plane twice, and they got him a plane. Creflo Dollar, they didn't get this man so much money. He's just Creflo. His last name is Dollar now. You feel me? TD Jakes can get away with all type of crazy things as long as you accept sexual deviancy. So I mean, me telling them I just want $20 from each one of them ain't that bad. It's just $20. They tithe normally anyway. So what's me asking for $20 instead of $100 for each person? I just want 20 from y'all. Good.
If I could, he literally counted the congregation.
Yeah.
And he said in his mind the night before, he was like, I need 40,000, 40 bands.
They can do that.
Said, when he said it, he must see in the crowd and like, if everybody just give me 20.
Hey, he broke it down. He was like, man, after he asked for 20, he was like, man, I remember back in the day, $20, that's a nice date with my wife. It's a dinner, it's a movie, popcorn, and a drink with my wife. He said, what's $20 now? It's nothing. You can give me $20. That filthy lucre, man. He does it for the money. It ain't got about your spiritual strength, developing you spiritually, making you a better servant to God or a brother to your people, sister to your people. It's about getting money out your pockets, nigga. It's a scam. Go ahead.
And that was if I could, one more thing. Mm-hmm. And that was like kind of like an offer because if they paying their tithes, it's 1,000 people paying their tithes. Minimum person probably make 100. So they give you 200, 1,000 people. I already did the math. You get like $2 million a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get like 200,000 a month.
Yeah.
Why 40 bands before the end of the day?
Because he can get it. That's the thing. These other pastors, they did something that he ain't done yet. Ask them for something egregious and see about where your people's faith in you lies. In his mind, that's how he rationalized it. They can get a plane. They can get all this, that, and the third from them. Well, why don't I try to get me something? Joel Osteen got 600,000 bands in the walls. So if he can do that, I know I can get 40. What's 40? He got 600,000. We ain't big as that mega church in Texas, but surely y'all can give me 40,000, $20. Come on, let me get that $20, bro. Y'all ain't going nowhere. Yeah, he said y'all ain't going nowhere, man. Y'all gonna give me this money, and we gonna go. Slack. Let me read that comment. Oh, my shalom again in the chat. Most High in Christ. Yahaba Shem Yahshua Baraka Thumb to the Akim. Yahweh Shemar al Thun by Shem Yahshua to the Akwafian. Yahaba Shem Yahshua Baraka Thumb. Yeah, man, you on the dope. You on the dope. But you got any questions though? You got any comments? Okay, come on. Right now we in 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 2. But you got your sword on you?
Okay.
Swap over to pull up Luke 5 and 11. Okay. We'll get into there. Nah, we ain't got to go into that. That's a lot. Let's go to Luke 22 and 25. Right. And the whole point of what I'm talking about right now with this pastor is with the same thing with political leaders, all of them. It's all about what they can get from you serving them. You take your faith out of the Most High. That's why I took God out of church. Out of schools. Even though it really wasn't the right way to be serving the Most High anyway. The notion of serving anything other than this oppressor or his system is a threat to our enemies. And that's why they make it a point to take everything that even remotely could link you back to your true culture and heritage away from you. That's why they give you leaders that's going to do the job for them, so they don't got to police you all the time. They just raise up coon jakes to do it for them. You got that? Go ahead, read it.
Luke chapter 22 and verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto them, the kings of the Gentiles exercise lordship over them.
So he said the kings of the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, right? The kings of the brothers and sisters, the leaders of the brothers and sisters who living as heathens are exercising lordship over them, right? Rulership. They exercising their power. Just like what we talk about with this church, like we talk about with Trump, just like we talked about Barack Obama, all of these leaders. Keep reading.
And they exercise authority upon them are called benefactors.
They're called benefactors, meaning we exercising our authority above you. And by us having this authority over you, we're benefactors, meaning that we're giving you something. You're gaining by that's at our hand. You're eating out of our hands. Keep reading.
Verse 26. But ye should not be so.
But you are commanded to not be that way. Don't ever follow in line with your oppressor. Don't ever be the way your oppressor is towards our people. Because he don't love our people. He don't care about our people. All he cares about is gain. He don't care about actually building your spiritual strength, teaching you how to be a man, teaching our sisters how to be women, teaching our children the way that they should go. Nothing. All he cares about is what he can gain and how he can use you to get it. Keep reading.
But he that is greatest among you, let him be as the younger.
Let him be as the younger. Keep going.
And he that is chief, as he that doeth serve.
Be the type of brother that if you become a leader, that you're willing to serve your people. You're ready to be a servant to your people. Brotherhood, next to serving the Most High God, brotherhood is the most important thing ever. And to be a real leader, you have to have brotherhood. That's something that you cannot be a leader if you don't have brotherhood. Why? Because you'll lead your flock out to destruction for your own selfish gain. That's what they doing. Call themselves benefactors. They benefiting from your suffering, benefiting from the things they commanding you to do, exercising that power over you. It might not be a literal political power over you, but it could be a spiritual power. Your pastor, your religious leader, if you're the Muslim, your religious leaders is telling you it's okay to sell the dope to the nigga that ain't got no beard, to the nigga that ain't no Muslim. But just make sure that you're taking care of home. What's home? Him, his pockets. That's evil. Drop that. Let's get John 10 and 11. We got any questions?
I had a question.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I might have to save. I gotta find it first. I put it in my notes.
You too up. I feel like it's been a long time since I done taught class, man. When y'all got that verse? Go ahead, read it.
John chapter 10, verse 11. I am the good shepherd.
He said he is the good shepherd, and he's about to describe what it means to be the good shepherd. Go ahead.
The good shepherd giving his life for the sheep.
No, the good shepherd just hangs out and lets the sheep just run around and do whatever they want to do. Keep going. Or read it again.
John chapter 10, verse 11. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giving his life for the sheep.
No, the good shepherd let one sheep get attacked by a bear and he just keep it pushing.
Giving his life for the sheep.
That's what your leader is supposed to do. Your leader is supposed to be somebody who's really willing to give his life for you, for your sake. Willing to answer the phone at 2 o'clock in the morning because you stressing about some situation that you got going on in your life. He's willing to deal with that. His personal life don't matter. I was on the phone, not on the phone, but I was messaging a brother back and forth, and he asked me a question about another brother, a captain. Slaki. He was talking about a captain, whatever, and I explained to him the situation. And he was like, "Dang, Cap didn't even explain all that to me. I ain't gonna say no names, get to know the specifics." But he was like, "Cap didn't even explain all that to me." And I was talking to him. I said, "Yeah, because you called him, asking him for counsel, asking to talk to him and getting advice from him and stuff." And I went further and I was like, that's the oath that he took. The same oath we all took. Our responsibility when it comes to this work ain't to ourselves, it's to y'all, it's to everybody under us. Every brother or sister that's beneath our rank, we owe responsibility to them to make sure that they straight. Our lives don't matter. What we want don't matter. What you chose, when you got the oil pointer on your head, when you chose to do this work, do this job, you chose to forsake your own wants and needs for your own personal life to care about the needs of others. And that's why that captain didn't tell the brother what was going on with his personal life. He just dealt with that brother's problem, made sure that his brother was straight. And he dealt with, while he's doing whatever he's got going on, that got put on the back burner. Why? That's the oath he took. That's the oath we take. That's why it's important. That's why your oath's supposed to mean something. And you know when the oath really means something when it comes, when you understand that. Read that verse one more time.
John chapter 10, verse 11. I am the good sheep. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep.
He giveth his life for the sheep. There ain't no hesitation. Keep reading.
Verse 12. But he that is a hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming and leaveth the sheep and fleeth.
He does what? He sees the wolf coming, leaveth the sheep, and does what?
Fleeth.
So not only did he just like let the wolf just tear through the sheep, you know, he ran away. He didn't even stick around to see which ones didn't get eaten, which ones he could like pull away while the others died. No, he said, if all of y'all, I'm out. That's the pastors. Our people put our faith, I stress it, it ain't just black pastors. Our people put our faith in these white pastors. Joel Osteen had 600 bands in the church. I'm sorry. Yeah, 600 bands in the walls in his church. And when that storm hit Houston, that hurricane, he locked the doors, said, y'all can't come in here. I'm not finna take a refuge in the house of God. What y'all thought this was? Y'all thought y'all was welcome here? Only on Sundays, nigga. That's Salaki. That's Salaki. But for real, that's how that was. He fled. He left his sheep to be attacked by the wolves, the proverbial wolves in this situation. Keep reading.
And the wolf catches them and scattereth the sheep.
Now we can flip this onto a black pastor, onto a black leader. Martin Luther King is exactly who this verse is talking about. He fled from the fight to have black people they owned, have black people safe, and integrated us with these people that hate us. And in him doing that, by him fleeing, the doors was open to now, you know, y'all want to be equal now. Y'all want to come to these white churches. Well, come on to this white church. And now we finna have this white man sexually assault your child. Salaki. SA your baby. SA your wife. Hell, SA you. I'm trying to get and that's not even a joke. I watched a documentary recently. I forget what it's called, but it started off with the wife having an affair with this man, this white man, and somehow or another, the husband start having sex with him too. The white man's the devil. All these are white people, mind you. These ain't black people I'm talking about in this documentary. That's my point, though, is that same type of thing happens in the church constantly, religiously, faithfully, you know, because the floodgates have been open. We wanted to integrate. There you go. Now you integrated. Now you can partake in all this sexual deviancy. And what's worse, we're going to teach all black leaders to do the same thing. So now it ain't just the white leaders that you got to worry about. It's the black pastors, too. They on the down low. So now AIDS is running rampant in the church community. Because everybody on the down low having sex with the deacon in them. It's crazy. Keep reading.
Verse 13. The hireling fleeth because he is an hireling and careth not for the sheep.
He's a hireling. The real shepherds of the Lord of the flock are the men of the ISUPK under Commander Junior Hana. We are the shepherds of the flock. Everybody else is just a hireling. They don't care about you. They want you to. Sakari wants you to come into Sakari so you can have a white man have sex with you, black woman, so he can watch. And then he wants you to turn around and peg him. The purple niggas just gonna run trains on you. They're all hirelings. They don't really care about you. They care about their own selfish gain. That's the reality, and it's really sad. It's terrible, man, because our people, whenever I mention I'm an Israelite to people, they be like, oh, y'all the purple niggas? And I have to explain that I'm not the purple niggas. Why do I got to explain to my brothers and sisters that I'm not the evil that they used to seeing? Why are they used to seeing evil? If your face is more popular than mine, your colors is known amongst our people, how come you ain't doing better work protecting our brothers and sisters? How come every time if I was to play into that, to say, yeah, I'm one of them purple niggas, I'm not. But if I was to play into that, what's the first thing they gonna say? Oh no, we don't fuck with y'all. So like we don't fool with y'all. Every time I hear anybody talk about the purple people, they talk about how evil they do, how much they point the finger, but don't offer no solutions, how they talk down on the people, everything. They don't ever do nothing for nobody. So you're supposed to be the face of the Israelite community. You're supposed to be the ones that people know, but you evil and wicked. You're just a hireling, man. So now our people got to sift through past that big barrier to find that there really is men of the Lord, really is a shepherd that's in the ISUPK. They got to find us. Keep reading.
Verse 14. I am the good shepherd,
Mm-hmm.
and know my sheep, and am known of mine.
And have known of mine. So now you got the men of the Lord, the real shepherds in the ISUPK. After they pipe past that barrier, they see us. And they say, oh yeah, that's where the Most High is at. The Passover when? April 12th? I'm going to Passover. I gotta meet these brothers. I wanna experience this sisterhood for the women. You know? That's when they finally see the real men of the Lord. The Lord Christ said, my sheep know me, and they know that I am their shepherd. That's what happens when they come in here. When they able to see past all the BS out there, the hirelings, they come in here and they see us and they're like, oh yeah, that's where I belong. That's how it was for me. I didn't see the ISUPK first. I saw Sakari first. Barakatha Yahweh Shai for hindsight. But what? That was the Lord that said, nah, don't go there. Don't be one of them. I never was gonna be a purple nigga. So like I was never gonna be a purple people eater. That was never gonna happen. They just looked gay. Salakia. They just looked too gay for me. But then I saw the men of the ISUPK. I seen Captain Tazariak. I seen Captain Thara. I'm like, yeah, them men right there, man. Cap was on the corner by itself. I was in the world when that happened. And Cap was on the corner by itself. 15 of them. And then the Shock was there. Hakwala was there. So it was 3 of them on the film anyway. That's all you can see. It's 15 of them across the street. They all in their face. Cap said, you want me to move, nigga? You want me to move, nigga? Move me. I was sold right there. That was it. I said, yeah, nigga, that's what I'm talking about. I don't give a damn how many people y'all faggot. Slacky. I don't care how many of y'all it is. Slacky. I get hyped when I get to thinking about that because that's what I'm on. You got to be ready to die for this truth, man. And that's what Cap was on that day. Cap was on that day. I didn't run. It was just them. And then other brothers came, but it was 15 of them right then and right there, 2 feet away from them, right there in their faces. Cap short. It wasn't no sense, no sign of fear in them men. That's when you know the Lord is there. Numbers don't matter. It's who the Lord is with. And you know who the Lord is with? The ones who want their hands to know the war. That's what I saw. And I was like, yeah, that's it for me. That's why I'm here now. That act of real nigga-ism is why I'm here. Because that ain't in the world. That ain't in the purple group. Sakari definitely ain't no real niggas. They up there committing all kind of sin and hiding that shit. So like hiding that stuff. You know, they ain't real men, real niggas. They low key all of them in the closet. You know what I'm saying? They passing sisters around talking about just the tip. What do you mean just the tip? I know, and ain't nobody feel for that. I hope you didn't. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you, okay? If I'm in the world and I put the tip in, the rest going in. It ain't no just a tip. What do you mean just a tip? It wasn't just a tip. All right. And there ain't no conversation. Well, you know, it was just a tip. So, you know, do you want to take her back? What do you mean? That's your woman now. You already had sex with her. Once you put your rod in her, period, that's yours. That's how we are here anyway. Over there, no, you just put the tip in. So, I mean, as long as it's just a tip, you can do whatever you want with these women. Apparently. Them the type of leaders you got. Just Slaki, let's move on. Slaki, keep reading. Slaki, let me go to Philip. Oh, you got something to say? Go ahead.
I had like 2 questions.
All right, let's get your questions.
So, if what you saying that, I mean, does oral sex count as marriage?
Somebody asked General Hyman this. Do you remember what the answer was?
So like him, I mean, I can't quote it word for word, but he like what he said that don't think that you getting away by having it. like he said, you better think twice.
I'm gonna give you what the scriptures say. The scriptures say where there is no law, there is no sin. So there is no law on. There's nowhere in the Bible where somebody gave somebody head and that was their wife. But at that point, it kind of becomes a morality. You horn your sister out by doing that. Are you gonna get head from her and then throw her away? If you ain't throwing her away, then what is she gonna be now? She's now your wife. So if you're getting head from a sister, then now that's your wife. By logic, because otherwise you horn her out, which means you're breaking the law. If you're getting head from women, so like if you're getting head from women and you just throwing them away, now you committing sin. That's sin. That's unlawful. So if that's true, that means that you can't put her away, you can't whore her out. That means she has to be your wife now. Unless you just like only giving, and no matter how you slice it, that's not, now that's your wife. Even if she only giving you head, now that's your wife. You know what I'm saying? But Salakia. Okay, if I could, I'm gonna read this. So Austin the Shock just messaged, and he said, "You don't want a woman that." So this is the official UPK stance. You don't want a woman from your brother that he got head from. That's flat out the truth. I mean, I don't give a damn. So that's another. That's you don't want. I don't want no woman that then dealt with none of my brothers ever on no type of level. She could have just kissed one of y'all brothers. I don't want her. I damn sure don't want her if she don't put your noodle in her mouth. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that. I'm good. But Sakari don't care. You know, that's neither me nor there. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't there to see it, so I mean, it's like it didn't. Salakia. All right, let's drop that. You got another question? Go ahead.
In 2 Kings chapter 2, in verse 11.
Let me get there with you. 2 Kings
chapter 2, verse 11.
2 and 11. Go ahead.
The part where can I read it first?
Yeah, go ahead, read it.
The book of 2 Kings chapter 2 and verse 11. And it came to pass as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. Okay, so what exactly is this? Did Elijah die and go into the heavens, or and like where did he go? Is that something that's what I mean?
It literally saying what it meant. So this happened twice in the scriptures, technically 3 times, but we don't count Moses' body. So twice in the scriptures, right? The first time it happened with Enoch. The Most High just took him. It literally said the Lord just plucked him out the earth. And now we have the same thing, a similar situation. It's giving more detail about the means of it happening. But the same thing happened. Elijah was just taken. The Lord just took him out the earth. Now, did his body die is what you're asking? Yeah, his body died. He did physically die eventually. But the Lord just took him. Same thing with Enoch. He just took Enoch out the earth.
So this is not where... So will his spirit be rested up there? Will he go to the heavens, the same heavens as the Most High?
Yeah, that's where the Lord took him. He took him to the 4th dimension. His body died, but his spirit was there resting. Okay. And if you read in Malachi, give me Malachi 1 and... I'm sorry, is that 4 and 1? Malachi... Let me see. I believe it's 4 and 1. Go ahead.
The book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh, that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble.
Go to verse 5. So this is the future, right? He said the day that day is coming, where all that do wickedly will be as stubble, right? Keep go to verse 5.
The book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 5.
And it's going to explain to you what Malachi. That's how we know Malachi was up there with the Most High, resting until his job came. Go ahead.
Come. Behold, I will send you Elijah.
He will send you who?
Elijah,
The same person we just read about in Kings who got taken up. Keep reading.
the prophet,
Mm-hmm.
before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord.
He said that he was going to send us Elijah the prophet back before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. Who was he talking about? When was this? When was this fulfilled?
John the Baptist.
Yeah. John is Elijah. That's what Christ said. So before Christ was born, John was born to Elizabeth and Zachariah. Yeah, Zechariah. He was born to them. And the prophecy said that before the great and dreadful day of the Lord, I'm going to send Elijah back to the earth. That was John. He sent John, it's like it. The Lord sent Elijah as John back to the earth to tell people about Christ who's coming, who's going to be greater than him, to exercise his power, and then to tell them that Christ is coming who can do more than I can do. He can do greater things than I can. I'm not even fit to tie his shoes. Follow him. You know what I'm saying? That was the whole point. That was why Elijah was taken up. He didn't die on the earth. He was taken up. His body died in the chariot, presumably in the chariot, because we don't know anything of it going anywhere past the chariot. So it died in the chariot, but his spirit went to the fourth dimension with the Most High. And he was resting until the Most High was ready to send him back before he sent Christ down here. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
Brothers in the world is gonna make this seem like extraterrestrial.
It is extraterrestrial. It's not from Earth.
It's like he was kidnapped by aliens.
He was kidnapped. They weren't aliens, but he was kidnapped. Elijah didn't have a choice. The Lord literally sent his angels to pluck that nigga, to pluck that brother out the earth. He was kidnapped. He was abducted. He literally was abducted. But it was a righteous abduction. You know what I'm saying? The Lord had a better plan for him. He done amazing works. He brought a kid back to life. The first record of it even happened in the scriptures. Elijah did it. That's how much spiritual power that man had. He was so in tune with the Most High. The Most High granted his will. He granted him the spiritual power to be able to save an innocent brother's life, to bring him back. And then shortly after that, the Most High just took him because he had better purpose for that brother. And he said that them that teach men to break the least of these commandments are going to be least in the kingdom of heaven. But we still going to be better than John the Baptist. All of us going to still be better than John the Baptist. You know what John the Baptist is? Elijah. That's insane. You did all these great things and everybody's still going to be better than you. You know? That just means that this goes to show that the Most High is not partial. Any one of us can get it. Me, Nishak, Commander Yohana, any of us can get it.
Yeah,
Most High in Christ and the bar. Elijah was a great example of a good leader too, because if you read on in 2 Kings, you'll start reading about Elisha and the things that he did. But everything that he did was the way he did things was modeled exactly after how Elijah did things. He was a great leader. That's the type of leader you want. That's the type of leader you want to be. That your legacy carry on to another person. Your will carries on to another person. You so righteous, so excellent in your tutelage to these brothers and these sisters out here that they follow in your footsteps. They doing things the way you would do things. That's pleasing to the Most High. Who was the king? Hezekiah, I think. One of the kings. He was so righteous, so pleasing to the Lord that he was about to die. The Most High asked him. No, the Most High sent a prophet to tell him that he was about to die soon. And then he asked the Most High to extend his life. And the Most High sent the prophet right back around. He literally was walking in the hallway. And he turned right back around to go tell him the Most High is going to grant him extra life. Because he was so righteous of a brother. That's what you got to be. That's what we striving for. That's why we ain't doing this for free. We're doing this for stuff like that to happen. We want to be that pleasing to the Most High. We ain't just doing this just for the sake of, we do food and clothing drives. The Christian church do food and clothing drives. The Red Cross do food and clothing drives. The Ronald McDonald's Foundation is a thing. So it's got to be more reason than that. It's more than just to be able to brag and boast and say that we're doing good things, doing good works and good alms, that we feeding the Lord's people. It's more than that. It's we're doing the things we're doing to please the Most High. That's what we have to teach our people as people, to stop being so selfish and think about what it really means to be alive, spiritually alive. Serve your God, man. That's what we're supposed to be teaching our people. That's the type of leader we got to be. Is there any more on that verse? All right, let's go back to Philippians. Let's go to Philippians 2 and 3. Salakia. Go ahead.
The book of Philippians, chapter 2 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Let nothing be done, be done through strife or vainglory.
Don't let it be done through strife or vainglory. The purple niggas, the purple people, they got the booster club. That's vainglory. All of it is just to line their pockets. That's all it's about. It ain't about serving the Most High God. That's why they let anybody in there. If you got brown skin, you could be Ethiopian, you could be East Indian. They're gonna let you in there. You're gonna lead a congregation. You're gonna lead a camp in India. IUIC India. That's Salakia. Keep reading, Salakia. It's all vainglory. Keep going.
But in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves.
Let each esteem other better than themselves. That means I look at Kanakyat. What's your rank? You a 50? I look at Kanakyat as better than me. Nah, first of all, nigga, I'm gonna tell you straight up something about me. I love me. But in all of my love for me, I see the greatness that's in my brothers that I don't have. His name means hands of discipline. Hold your peace. His name means hands of discipline. He's a very, very disciplined young man. When I was his age, I wasn't even half as responsible or reliable as he is. When he was in the world, he came in here, I wasn't even half of that level of responsibility. I see him as better than me. I strive to be that responsible. Even to this day, I pray the Lord don't take that drive from me to be as responsible as this brother is. And that's how you have to be as a leader. You have to look at the men as beneath you and not see them as beneath you, but see them as something better than you. See the qualities in them that can help you grow. Add things to you. Add them things to yourself. And that's what's going to keep your brotherhood straight. You ain't never going to look down on your brother. Rank matters, but rank don't matter. Brotherhood matters. And how I'm going to be your brother if I look at you like, nigga, you a 50. I'm 1,000. You a 500. I'm 1,000. I ain't fucking talking to y'all niggas. What is that? Where am I better than you other than a title? You're taller than me. Your hands are bigger than mine. Your reach is longer than mine. I got a bum foot. He can walk up and down a flight of stairs, no problem. So where am I better than y'all? Other than a title, a rank that was given to me, which don't get me wrong. Again, I appreciate my rank. Your rank is given to you by the men of the Lord. Beyond that, though, I'm your brother first. If things hit the fan, it's me and you. I got to make sure that you straight from straight. That's the responsibility my rank provides. It gives me. Now, because I got this rank, now I got to make sure that you good before I'm good. I got to make sure he's good before we good. I don't matter in the equation. If it's one bottle of water and it's 3 of us in here and he say he thirsty, I don't matter in this equation. We all could be thirsty. He the one that got to get something to drink. We got to be selfless. We got to love our brothers, see them as better than us. And that's what's going to make our brotherhood unbreakable. You had a question?
I ain't had a question.
Okay. We'll keep reading.
Verse 4. Look not every man on his own thing, but every man also on the things of others.
Same basic principle. What you got going on is more important than what I got going on. My car breaking down, my car is struggling. I might need to do a tune-up. But brother, you got flats. You can't even go get a new tire. My car needs a tune-up, but my car can run. I can go get you a new tire. Take you to go get it. If you ain't got the bread to go get it, but I got a couple dollars I have put in on you, getting you a new tire so that you can be mobile. In turn, nigga, you finna take me to go get these parts for my tune-up. Or you finna help me do my tune-up. Again, all of this is brotherhood. It's leadership. Leadership and brotherhood go hand in hand, in my opinion. Nishad, correct me if I'm wrong. Salakia, sir. But leadership and brotherhood go hand in hand. Because to be a good leader, you got to be a good brother, man. Because your people ain't going to follow you. Your men ain't going to follow you if they don't view you as a brother. They're going to follow you to an extent until they get tired of your orders. So they start thinking for themselves, like, man, fudge this. I'm not doing this no more. Listen to him. I can do this. I don't got to follow after you. Who are you? Now, the brotherhood is gone. It's out the window. Your leadership role don't. It's just the title now. In reality, your men don't really follow you. You gotta be a leader of men, but you also gotta be a brother of men, a brother to your men. Right? Let's go to Romans 12 and 16. Stop me at 8:40. I don't want to go too late. Let's go to Romans 12 and 16. Because as leaders, we're supposed to be a certain way to one another. We're supposed to love each other and deal with each other in a certain way. And that way ain't been taught to us none in the world. In our lives, we've been taught it's a dog eat dog, and you get it how you live. That's what the world teach you. Even when I was in the world, I was in the world, you know what I'm saying? That was one of the first things the brother above me taught me, is that all brothers ain't your brother. Don't trust every nigga that got a 6-point star on his chest. Don't trust every nigga that got 7-4 on a black flag. Don't trust all of them, because they're not every brother is your brother. That's insanity. We supposed to be together under one banner. Y'all are supposed to be my brothers. I'm supposed to be able to rely on y'all no matter where I go. Why is that not the case? How is that even allowed to be a thing? That's because the world don't teach us this. Go ahead. Whoever got that, go ahead and read it.
The book of 12, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
Be of the same mind, one toward another.
What is it? Who had your hand up first? Good.
So like it be so like it like had the same, I don't want to say doctrine. That's the word, doctrine. So like it just be like, how the scripture say, how can two walk together except they be agreed? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be a one man. What's the word for it? So like it had the same spirit, kind of, so to speak.
Okay. What you gonna say?
Just look at your brother like, if you got love for yourself, you should have love for your brother. If you respect yourself, respect your brother.
Mm-hmm.
So the way you carry yourself, treat your brother like that. It shouldn't be just me, big me, little you. Nah.
So what if a brother in the world, one of your family members, not just some stranger, but one of your family members come to you and say, I know you ain't rich, but you got a job, you know what I'm saying? If you got it, I need to borrow like $1,000. You gonna give it to him?
So like if I may. I would, and I would give it to him.
Stop right there. If you're gonna give it to him, now let's give us a stipulation. Let's say that he's an alcoholic. We ain't gonna make him a junkie. Let's just make him an alcoholic, right? And he's not responsible with money. You're not liable to get this back. You gonna give it to him?
Live.
Why?
I wouldn't give it to him because the person that he is, and knowing that he's an alcoholic, I know what he's gonna do. But if he needed, I'm not saying I'm a good judge of character, but I can read body language.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he needed for a bill or something, I know that he's a family man and he got a wife, kids. I would tell him, listen, if you got a bill to pay, take me and I'll pay the bill.
Okay, let's lower the money. Instead of $1,000, let's say it's $70.
If it's $70, I know he needs something to drink.
You gonna give it to him?
Live. But I wouldn't give him no $70 because I know he gonna go and get something to drink.
The reason I'm asking you this question, it says, it's verse 12, verse 16 says, be of the same mind one toward another. Regardless of that brother's alcoholism, you know that brother loves you and trusts you and relies on you, right? You're supposed to love, trust, and rely on him. You're not giving that when you give people that's in them conditions money, you're not giving them the money thinking, I hope he don't do nothing wrong with this money. You expect that he's gonna do something wrong with the money, but you give him the money to give him peace, to grant him a moment where he don't have to suffer. If he, you know, he's gonna go get that bottle, you counsel him, of course, and you tell him, you know, use this for something other than the vice that you're trying to get. I know you're trying to get it, just use it. I'm telling you, use it for something other than that vice. But after that, give the brother the money so that he can have respite from that battle with the demon. Peace. The reason I say all this is because General Muhammad explained this before. Somebody asked General Muhammad about the scripture. That's why I wrote this down, because General Muhammad explained this in the exact same way. If you have a chance to offer peace to a brother, give it to him. If you're a crackhead, give him that couple dollars. You know you're gonna go smoke the dope. Like you said, you know. But we in hell here, man, and it's more hell for the brothers and sisters that don't got nothing versus us that done worked and is working and fighting the hell. So give the brother a little bit of peace. And that ties into this because, like it said, be of the same mind one toward another. Keep reading that verse.
Come. But, like, mind not high things.
Don't worry about the high things. Don't worry about what he gonna do with the money. Keep reading.
But condescend to men of low estate.
Keep going.
Be not wise in your own conceits.
Your thoughts about the situation, what you think the brother gonna do, don't matter. At this moment in time, you got the chance to exercise your spirit, your ability as a leader. I know you finna go get high, but just start coming and talk to me more. We gonna help you fight that. Here, take this money. Do what you're gonna go do with it. But come holler at me. Now it's gonna become, well, I know I can get money from him. I'm gonna start coming around him and trying to get my money from him. But his shame is gonna stop him from just flat out, hey, can I get some money? Hey, can I get some money? He's gonna start talking to you longer before he asks you if I can get a couple dollars. Next thing you know, you done completely got this nigga in class. I'll tell you, I will go take you to go buy the crack after we leave from class, but you ain't taking him to go get the crack. You go deploy to get him in class. And then you're gonna drop him off somewhere safe, give him a couple dollars, and let him go about his business. He don't care. But you starting to get him clean. You're working on making him go longer stints without it, and he's knowing he can come to you and get the money. So you're using that as a way to win your brother over, man. That's why you got to stoop yourself to the lower state. You know this, brother. Don't. It says, but condescend to men of low estate. Them brothers is in the low state. They trying to get high. They don't care about nothing but getting high. But what happens when you become the only source of money for them to be able to go get high? Now they got to listen to you talk to them before they can go get high. So you're going to grant them a little bit of respite. Yeah, I got to hear what he got to say, but he's going to give me a couple dollars so I can go get this rock. I can go get this bottle. I can go get this drink. I just got to listen to him for a little bit. That little bit turned more into he started asking questions. High as a kite, drunker than a skunk, but he asking questions now. Now you got the chance to start feeding him, feeding his spirit. One day you might be the reason he come out the world into the truth. There's a brother in the school who was digging through the trash. The picture get passed around like every blue moon. The brother was digging through the trash, homeless, poor. Now he a priest of the Lord in here. And I'll tell you what other kind of debauchery the brother was on. And not just that brother, but all of us. You know, coming to the truth, you become clean. And it starts with somebody showing you compassion, brotherhood. That's what being a leader is, man. Slacky, one of y'all have about to say something? Go ahead, Zabak.
Slacky about me.
Mm-hmm.
I never had it broke down to me like that. I don't want, and that's what I love about this truth, because what you said was heavy, to give him peace so that he can go and fight that demon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about this truth, because it's give you a righteous way to look at like a bad situation.
Yeah.
And you shed light on that to the point that, yeah, a person would feel a little bit of shame. And next thing you know, he know that, man, I can go to this brother, I can go to this person, but I know they're going to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, months pass, probably seeing the brother like, hey, man, I need a couple of hours, man, I'm going to an interview.
You feel me?
Dressed up. Next thing you know, he done got a job, then came back and hit you with a couple of hours. Next thing you know, like you say, Brother being the truth.
Exactly.
You know, and I never had nobody to really break it down to me like that. You know, and that's what I love about this truth. Like,
Most High in Christ, give the Lord a hand for that.
man.
That's why you tune in to Command G and Honda. It's like that's why you tune into General Hyman's class, though. that's where I got that understanding. That way of thinking, though. If you listen to General Hyman's classes, he makes a lot of jokes and he says a lot of things, but everything that he says is rooted in brotherhood. Everything, even like the harsh things that he says about brothers, is rooted in brotherhood, man. And it's heavy. It changes your way of thinking. You have no choice but to it makes too much sense to ignore. You get what I'm saying? You know, and it makes you really evaluate. That's what Nishak told me. Nishak said that the Bible is like a mirror, you know, and you start really like understanding it and really reading it and really understanding what it's saying. It starts making you think about, well, how have I been interpreting it this whole time? How have I been living versus or treating my brothers versus how the Bible says I should be treating my brothers? Am I doing what Christ would do? Remember, Christ said and politicians, you know, the debt collectors. That's equivalent to, you know, in order to sit with them people, he got to be willing to tolerate a degree of their wickedness, so he can talk to them. You can't sit with a wicked man and he don't just not do nothing wicked around you. It's gonna creep out somewhere, you know. So then what do? You just cast them away, or you go out and you willing to lose your life to save them sheep. That's how we gotta be, whatever it takes. That's why Christ said, Christ ain't have no money. Christ ain't have no home. Because having all them things was going to distract him from being the example that we needed to follow. You want to really, really serve the Most High? Then be ready to give up all of your riches and all of your wealth to help your people. He told the rich man that. He said, what else should I do? Sell all you got and follow me. Sell all you got and give that to the poor so that you can follow me. Help the brothers and sisters that come up and ask you for $1 here, $5 there, something to eat, something to drink. Nigga sitting on the side of the interstate, you know he trying to get high, but he got a sign saying, if I'll work for money. But you know, he just want to go get high. Just give him the money. Give him a business card, a UPK business card. Let him know you ain't got to sit in this corner to get the money. You just come over here and ask me for the money next time. Now you got him over here. But you get him here, that's the vast majority of the work is done. Now you got to get him up the stairs so we can sit in this class and we'll give you the money after the class over to sit in here and listen. And you never know, man. It might just be one time, but he might come back 1,000,000 times after that. He might never ever come back. The Lord don't want all of us. He definitely don't need all of us. But he might come back. And then what? You done brought this brother before the men of the Lord, and they saw something in him that he didn't see in himself. He gave up on himself, but you didn't, because you was willing to deal with his sinful behavior long enough to get him in a place where we could help him fight that sinful behavior. That's heavy, bro. That's what I learned from the men above me, man. Salakia. Where we at?
840.
It's 8:40. We got any questions? I ain't gonna keep going. Everybody to up. All right. And with that, I pass the class over to Priest and Officer Kanakia. It's not UPK Apparel. He ain't in it. Just go ahead. So I've seen Rocky doing his work stuff, so you two up. You got him?
Okay.
Go ahead.
These are the ISPK security announcements. We are the ISPK. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister come to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, found in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% in every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offer for priests, not mandatory whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation. It's like the Passover. Passover week is April 9th through 13th. The Passover is the 14th day of the first month, found in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 4 through 5 on April 12th. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, my ears are Mazda. We're going to get one courtesy salute. Mashbat, Mazda, Brock. Yeah, how about Shimmy Ashabaratha? Yanimata, dismissed.